This is WNBF News at 6.
A secret. A search warrant. A veteran. A trap. How 7 South Carolina officers fell in Florence. That's the title of an article written by Charleston's Post and Courier newspaper, detailing the days before, moments of, and the aftermath of the October 3rd Vintage Place shooting. The article walks readers through the moments when law enforcement officers were met with gunfire at the home of Fred Hopkins. Reporters even corresponded with Hopkins behind bars through letters from mid to late March. Hopkins saying post-traumatic stress disorder from serving in Vietnam played a factor in the shooting, claiming he went into, quote, Saigon mode when deputies arrived at his home to interview his son. In one sentence, he wrote, quote, my PTSD is so severe that it unquestionably colored my reactions during the attack. The picture Hopkins paints in that letter of more than a dozen officers in military gear ambushing his home is drastically different from the accounts of officers who were there and those who investigated the shooting.
Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott, whose agency was called in to investigate, previously said this was a planned ambush on law enforcement and the officers had no chance whatsoever.
Tonight, the family of one of the officers killed that day says they're outraged Hopkins was given this type of platform to defend his actions. On the same day, the family of the other officer killed dedicated a new memorial in his honor.
WNBF News Florence reporter Nia Watson joins us from Darlington, where that dedication took place just hours ago. She has those families' reactions to this new report tonight. Nia?
Yeah, Eric, Meredith, the family of Farrah Turner reached out to me through email saying they were deeply angered by Fred Hopkins' letters and the newspaper's decision to publish them. Now, while Sergeant Terrence Caraway's family say they have read the article, they wanted today's focus to be solely on honoring their loved one. Now, this afternoon, the community and Caraway's family gathered at the corner of D Avenue and South Main Street in Darlington, the site of the future Memorial Park dedicated to fallen officers. The memorial will be interactive with a basketball court and picnic table. Not only will Caraway be honored, but the names of all 377 South Carolina fallen officers will also be on display. Caraway's son, Terrence Rashad Caraway, says the memorial represents everything his father stood for.
With him doing 32 years, it represents everything. It represents the leadership and it represents the dedication that he gave to the police department all those years.
Among those at the ceremony was Farrah Turner's mother, Katie Godwin. Despite the joyous occasion, Turner's cousin and spokesperson, Brittany Weaver, reached out to me through email expressing the family's anger for Hopkins' letters. The email in part says, quote, giving a voice to a murderer to prematurely plead his case before the court of public opinion and to potentially taint a future jury pool is disgusting and distasteful. She continued to say the family refrained from speaking with the media to allow justice to be served, saying, quote, to comment further would only serve to dignify the words of a calculated, cold-blooded murderer.
I feel the long article that was written was appropriate, and it did correct several of this man's non-truths contained in his letter. Our issue, however, is that it continued to give him a public forum to present his defense.
We also reached out to the Post and Courier about the family's response to their article. The reporters say they rather the story speak for itself. Reporting in Darlington, Nia Watson at WNBF News.